What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 22 of the Charge to the Top here with Hereford FC. And today I have another live com for you guys, and well, today we're going to be taking on Dartford. Now, last episode, if you watched it, we lost against Billericay, and you can see since then it's been a little bit of a rough run of results in truth. Following on from the Billericay game, 2 games winless in the league, which took us to 3 games in a row without getting 3 points. You can see here we drew 2-2 against Margate. It was a tight game. Anthony Wright opened up the goal scoring. Matt Johnson for them bagged 2. Fortunately for us, as the game went on, we managed to get a goal in the second half that did see us get what could prove to be a vital point from the game. In truth, we were the better team. We were a little bit unfortunate all in all. Anyway, the next game we had against Truro, big game for us, you can see here. It was an even game. 1-1 was probably a pretty fair reflection of how the entire game panned out in truth. But yeah, disappointing. For a third game in a row, not to get a win. We lost against Billericay, we drawn against Margate. The game against Truro, they're a team not doing that great in the league. I was expecting to get something from it, and unfortunately that simply wasn't the case. Anyway, in our next game, as you can see in the FA Trophy second round, we took on Barrow, a team in the Vanarama National League. Last year, they finished 6th in the division, so they're a good team. If we look here, you can see they're currently in 2nd, so they were not a team to be taken lightly, and unfortunately for us, they did prove to be the better side. They won 3-1. They came back from behind as well in the last 20 minutes, which was pretty disappointing. But it was a good fight by our team. Good to see us go toe-to-toe with one of the big teams in the division above us. And all in all, I really can't fault the team performance that much. Anyway, following on from that, we actually showed a bit of spirit. As you can see here, 10 days we had as a break. We actually had 2 games during this run of fixtures, I believe delayed due to waterlogged pitches and various other things. Those were the games against Whitehawk and Maidenhead, if I'm not mistaken. Both of those were postponed once. As you can see, against Whitehawk, 2-0 victors we ran out. Ote and Payne with the goals, of course. Stephen Payne, he's come in to be our Quigley replacement, and so far, 9 goals in 9 games for him, 4 assists as well. He really has been a star player for us since joining the ranks, and alongside Ote, who's continuing to bang in goals, you can see 28 goals in 26 games for him. We're looking very, very good in the league, and it was fantastic to get a win against Whitehawk after a few tricky results. And as you can see, following on from that, we absolutely annihilated Hungerford. Stephen Payne getting a hat-trick in this game. Keenan Bennett's getting a goal. Ote with a brace. All in all, just a fantastic performance in the kind of game where I didn't make any subs just because I was so happy with how the entire team was playing. It would have been very harsh to take anyone off the pitch. Anyway, the last game we played against Maidenhead, a team we've had a little bit of kind of what's the word? It's been a bit of a bogey team for us, I guess you could say, in Maidenhead. We've never, played that great against them, but finally here we actually got a good result. Stephen Payne getting a goal, Ote with a brace too. It was 3-0 after 35 minutes. Actually, Jordan Allen replied not that long after the Ote goal to make it 3-0, and 3-1 was how it remained as the game went on. And, well, another good win. 3 wins in a row. We take on Dartford today, and while looking at the league table, you can see top of the table and in a very, very good position. We are currently 9 points ahead of Billericay. We play a game today. I don't know if Billericay are going to be playing as well, but regardless, that 9-point cushion, very, very healthy. Western-super-Mare, they've got a game in hand on Billericay, so they could become our closest rivals. Looking behind them, it's still fairly tight between the likes of Bromley and Maidstone. And, Dartford on 44 points here. Who we played today, they're going to be keen to get a fairly good result, you'd imagine, as they continue their push for a playoff spot. So anyway, in terms of this team, not a whole lot's happened. We did end up bringing in Joe Lumley in on loan. Of course, a player I did look at towards the end of last episode, if you watched it. He's on loan from QPR to the end of the year, which is fantastic. And so far, so good for him. He's played pretty well all in all for us. Anyway, looking at the kind of contracts here, you can see a few players have signed new deals going into the new years. The likes of Bennett, who was already on a deal, Isaac Christie Davis. You got the likes of Piggott, who's also extended his deal now. So is Chris Owens, the left-back, who, of course, we signed from Telford. A player who I really do like a lot and has been performing very well for us as of late. In the final third, Ote has signed a new deal, which is great. I'm looking to hopefully lock down Payne on a new deal as well, of course. Only joined us about a month or 2 ago. His contract, however, does run out at the end of the year, and while 9 goals in 9 games for him, he looks like a very, very good player. Definitely a player who could be, as you can see here, a leading Vanarama national kind of man. and well, I'd be keen to keep him in our ranks. Looking at our team here, though, you can see there's only a handful of players really whose contracts have extended going into next season, something I am going to look to press on with now as the months go on. Of course, the transfer window has come and gone, and well, in truth, we haven't been that busy. We've had a few players who went out on loan. I don't remember talking about these, as some of these happened a little while ago, but you can see the likes of Anthony Scully went out on loan in November, a player who was very good for us last year, a good backup player, but was out for 4 months with a damaged Achilles tendon, missed the start of the season for us, never really found himself in first team contention, and well, after 4 appearances and not really flattering himself with his performances, we have loaned him out to Ashton United, where he's had a little bit of a resurgence, the youngster, but nothing too crazy. Other players, Vatanen has now gone on loan to Ashton as well. Obviously the Finnish player, a very good individual, but never really played regular first team football for us. A player we did call upon a little bit during a mini injury crisis earlier, but with Ote and Payne looking like they're going to have the striker position settled, and with the likes of Sean Hanbury and Stevenson waiting in the ranks kind of for a chance, he's just not going to play that much football for us, so a loan was a fairly logical move for the 20-year-old. So anyway, those are kind of the transfer dealings. Obviously, looking at the goal scorers, Ote, unsurprisingly, on 34 goals. Keenan Bennett's with 11. Stephen Payne with 10. Anthony Wright doing well still. A player who really has been punching above his weight this year. The young American left wing. And not a player you'd say was as good as perhaps some of the other players in our team, but he always performs well. Well suited, of course, to Vanarama South football. And, well, 11 assists, 8 goals. Looking like he's going to have another very, very good season at the club, which is always pleasing to see. In terms of the average ratings, besides the likes of Payne and Ote, and I guess Bennett and Wright, Jordan Peart's had a very, very good year this year. He's developed a lot. As you can see here, his marking is continuing to improve. He's looking like a very good player, and is a player whose contract we have locked in going into next season. 51 appearances he's made for Hereford during his time at the club. Perhaps worth noting his new centre-back partner, who we kind of signed last episode, Rafael Branco, unfortunately not really had the greatest time at the club early on. He has, in recent games to be fair, kicked on and started to perform a lot better. You can see here a 7.32 average rating for him. But after a game or two, I was getting a little bit worried perhaps I'd made a mistake in signing him. But the Brazilian, he's continuing to settle into the side. A very, very good player. And hopefully he can give a good performance today. So anyway, it's not been that long since our previous game, which was against Maidenhead. As you can see, just the 4 days really to recoup. As a result, condition could be a little bit better going into today's game against Dartford, who I'm pretty sure are going to be a tricky opposition for us. They're currently in 6th. If we look at their recent form, you can see they've been on a bit of a bad run. They've not won in their last 3 league games, although they have picked up a few draws. They did beat Weston-super-Mare, however, 3-0, a team we know can be pretty tricky to beat. And they have had big results against big teams around them, likes of Maidstone, also falling victim to Dartford and kind of their giant killing potential. So we really can't take this kind of lightly. Looking at the kind of overall performance, you can see Keenan Bennett and Anthony Wright, top 2 players for assists in the league. Ote, 28 goals for the season. That is almost double what the guy in second has in Michael Cunningham, who's a pretty good striker in truth, but, well, Ote, he's just a goal-scoring machine. 9 player of the matches as well for him in 28 games. Worth noting the season, of course, only 42 matches in the season rather than the 46 you might be familiar with if you've managed in England before. It's kind of the normal amount would be 24 teams in a league. This year, though, just the 22 teams. It means that with 14 games left of the season, we are 9 points clear. We are in a very good position, and it's very much our title to lose at this point. But these are the kind of games which could prove tricky. Looking at our results and fixtures coming up, we've got Havant, who are in 20th, Hemel Hempstead in 21st, and then Eastbourne in 12th. So some fairly easy games. We then do have St Albans, who are in 13th now. They've been a very strong team, but they've really fallen off the pace in recent months. Maidstone, however, do await us midway through next month. That could be an interesting game for a live com. Then beyond that, we've got the likes of Gosport, Bromley, who are in 4th, Wealdstone in 16th, Salisbury in 7th, of course, a team who were promoted with us recently, Weston-super-Mare in 3rd towards the end of the year, and our last game of the season will be against Chelmsford in 15th. So yeah, we've not got the toughest run of fixtures in truth. We've taken on a lot of kind of fairly tricky teams. That said, this game against Dartford, definitely a banana peel which we could well slip on, and we need to avoid that as best as possible by giving a top performance here today. So anyway, team is already picked. No injuries to speak of in the first team, which is absolutely fantastic news. Means, of course, I can just pick my strongest 11. We go with Lumley, the new kid on the block on loan from QPR in goal. At left back, we go with Owens, Piggott and Rafael Branco playing the centre-back positions. The club captain, Kane Smith, plays out at right back. On the left, we go with Anthony Wright. On the right, we go with Keenan Bennett. Duffman and Christy Davis kind of remain our two go-to centre mids. They've been playing very, very well as of late. You can see the average rating for Keenan Bennett has been great, but also for Isaac Christy Davis, he's actually not played that badly. In recent games, a 7.26 average rating. Hopefully he can keep that up. Anyway, in the final third, it's Ote and Payne, with Payne playing as the target man. Ote being the spearhead of our attack. Hopefully the 4-4-2 can continue to serve us well. We are away from home for this game, and well, after what had been a fantastic run of live commentaries really in this series, it did come to a crushing halt last time out against Billericay. Definitely want to try and set the record straight here today. Overall, a very positive reaction from our team talk. So going into this match, hopefully we can give a good performance. And well, playing in our red away strip, we are going to be looking to hopefully take an early initiative in this game. And well, looks like Dartford are actually with the team trying to do that. Wright deals with it well, up to Ote on his own, but holds up the play superbly. Now we can start to build from the back, up to Keenan Bennett. Loads of space ahead of him to run into. He's got the pace to do it too. Options inside with Isaac Christy Davis. And well, he's going to drive forward with the ball. Now to Ote. Payne's on ahead. Can he finish it? He probably should have hit the target there. A poor effort in the end by Payne. A great goal-scoring opportunity. A clear-cut chance within the first kind of 5 minutes. Unfortunately, we squander it. But we are in the attack here. Ote on his own. Takes on everyone. Hits it. It was on target. Austin did have to give a good save there. And well, not a bad run by Ote. Just pulled all the defenders with him. You thought it might be a magical goal for him. Unfortunately, the keeper did stand firm. But well, looking at the stats early on, not a whole lot of opportunities falling either way. Set piece now for Dartford, in fact, but it's been very close. But, you know, set pieces can decide these kind of games. Ball whipped in. D-Man should have done better there. The number 4, presumably a defender with a prime opportunity in the box, headed it way over the crossbar there in the end. And now we have a set piece from this throw in. We lay it across to Tyrone Duffer. Can he hit it? He lays it to Anthony Wright. Now with Duffman again. Nice build-up play here. Might be an option out wide, although Owens can't be picked out by that pass. Piggott, though, crucial interception there. Could have left us very exposed had he missed that. And now we look to recycle possession, engage in this attack. And it's going to be Ote here. Back to Christy Davis. Now with Wright. Nice build-up play here. Payne, Ote perhaps, hits it. Fantastic finish by the number 9. Slides it away into the top left. It's his 35th goal of the season. A superb team goal, as the commentator describes them well, right before half-time. Less than 5 minutes until the half-time whistle. We get a very important goal, which is going to change the course of this game, you'd imagine. Nice passing build-up play in the sleety snow that is, well, a winter in England. But Ote's finish here, lovely. You can't place it better than that. Right in the top corner. The keeper dives fully extended. Can't get a hand on it, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately for Dartford. Fortunately for us, certainly. And at half-time, 1-0 up. Fantastic finish by Ote, the difference, really. But the build-up play to that goal was nice. We obviously had a few opportunities which we messed up earlier on through Stephen Payne. Hopefully he can step up in the second half. A very good player. You know, he scored a goal every game on average so far this season in the league. Ote doing even better than that, in fact. Our goal-scoring prowess has been superb, and it might be a bit of a surprise. We're only the 1 goal up, and we've only scored the 1 after half a game. But, well, we need to defend here. Dartford on the attack. Ball whipped in. And Piggott not picking up his man, and Courtney Austin with his 7th goal of the season slots it away. And the defending there, a little bit subpar perhaps. The build-up play was nice. We didn't deal with the initial corner. Noble squeezed it in there from a tight angle. Piggott goes to clear it. The man on the post doesn't do his job, and Austin, in the end, wheels away in jubilation. And, well, with 25 minutes left, it's 1-1, and it's Dartford in the ascendant here. They're through. A great chance here, perhaps, but, wow, that is a lovely, lovely stop there by the keeper. Lumley gets behind it, parries it wide, denies what was a great opportunity for Dartford, and, well, they are on the up in this second half. With half an hour left, I think we need to look at maybe making a change or two. I do want to wait for this initial kind of chance to be dealt with, as Wright does now get it to Payne. Maybe we can build something now on the counter, although not with balls like that, I don't think. So anyway, we need to kind of rethink things here. It's not been a great performance. I might take off Stephen Payne and bring on Hanbury. That seems like a fairly logical change. Elsewhere, Isaac Christie not having the greatest of games, so I think we'll bring in Malik Hamilton for him. You may notice Dan Townsend absent from the bench. He has actually asked to leave the club, unfortunately. Of course, Dan Townsend, kind of a key player for us for a number of years. I believe he's the club's record appearance holder still. However, in recent kind of months this season, he's kind of shown that he just isn't quite up to the kind of quality that we need him to be in this team, and unfortunately he's kind of fallen out of favour. He's asked to leave the club. No team's come in with a transfer, but well, the contract of his ends in just a few months' time, and it's unlikely he's going to want to renew, unfortunately. So Malik Hamilton, the man coming on, number 15, the young Canadian, actually involved here early on in this build-up play. Hanbury holding up the ball nicely, of course, the other sub we brought on. Ote to Hanbury. Can he squeeze it in here? Tight angle straight at the goalkeeper, Austin. And, well, I don't know how many Austins Dartford have playing for them, but there's a few. And, well, it feels like there's a few in goal, doesn't it, with some of the saves they made. Unfortunately, that looks like it might be our one golden chance late on in this game. Time just ticking away here. The game, very, very close. We edged possession just slightly. The shots were fairly close. Perhaps Dartford having slightly better in terms of the chances. 3 half chances to our 1. Both teams with 2 clear-cut chances. But at the end of the day, it was a tight game. I don't think either team really ran out victors. I feel like we were a little bit unlucky. It's one of those games where neither team really deserved the win, so I'm kind of happy to get something from the game rather than nothing. That result, well, you can see here, it sees us go 10 points clear of Billericay because they've not played today. Weston-super-Mare, did they play? They did. They actually drew against St Albans, so they've missed out on an opportunity to leapfrog Billericay, and they've now played the same amount of games. Bromley and Maidstone, I don't know if either of them played. Maidstone drew 1-1. Doesn't look like Bromley played either. It's a little bit interesting at the moment because, as you might be able to tell by the fact there's only been 5 matches played, teams are all kind of playing at different points in time this season. But, well, 10 points clear. I feel like that's a point gained rather than, 2 points lost, actually. We were never fully in control in that game, and Dartford did have a very good start to the second half, and we weathered the storm well. And, well, it's better than nothing. And actually, given our current position, draws are going to be pretty significant, you'd imagine, and help us along the way to hopefully getting our kind of noses over the line and actually ultimately winning this league. So anyway, guys, that is going to wrap up today's episode from me. Not the greatest game in the world as far as we're concerned. Ote did pick up the Man of the Match award. In terms of when we'll be back, it will probably be for the Maidstone game, maybe the Bromley game. We'll see which of those teams is going strongest. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode as always. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment if you've got anything to say. And other than that, thank you so much for watching as always. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.